Hey, Algebra students. In this video, we're going to be looking into problems involving a percent of change. And you'll see up here in the upper right, I have a three-step method that works for solving many of these problems. Not all of these problems. Okay, you're going to have to do some thinking in these, but many of these problems can be solved by finding the original amount, finding the amount of increase or decrease, and then dividing the increase or decrease by the original amount. That gives you the percent change. So sometimes you'll be given a percent change. You have to go backwards on these steps, but these steps will help you to solve these sorts of problems. So the instructions are to find the percent of change. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that. In letter A, it says that in January 2006, we had a salary of $600 per week. Then in January of 2007, a salary of $630 a week. So what's the original amount? 600. The amount of increase is 30. Okay, so if I could say that that's an increase of 30, a positive number. So it's going to be a percent increase. And the way I'm going to find it is the change divided by the original, 30 over 600. And if I work that out, 30 over 600, let me just punch it into a calculator really quick. 30 over 600 is 0.05. I need to change that to a percent, 5%. The percent change is 5%. Letter B. In letter B, the number of words in a first draft and then in a final essay. Well, let's see. That's a decrease. So the original amount is 1,032. The final amount is 774. And I'm going to actually need to do the math to figure out the difference between these two. It's almost 250, right? Because if I had 250 to 774, that gives me 1024. It's 8 more than 250, so 258 is going to be my difference. 258. Now, if you don't want to do that in your head, you can use a calculator. Just use Google as my calculator to check my work. 1032 minus 774. Let's see if I got this right. 258. There we go. Okay, that's my difference. And now I need to take that difference, 258, divided by the original amount, 1032. 258 divided by 1032 gives me 0.25, or 25%. So this is a 25% change. Now, hey, I forgot to do something at the beginning. I need to say that this is a 5% increase. The second one is a 25% decrease because the amount is going down. That last word is important because sometimes the number goes up, sometimes the number goes down. Letter C. A shoe store marks up the price of a pair of boots that cost the store $44 by 45%. What is the markup and the new price of a pair of boots? So for this one, I could go back to this formula, by the way, but we're going to do this a little bit of a different way. $44 times 45% is going to give me the actual change, okay? So the original amount is 44. The change is going to be 44 times 45%. Let's just punch that in. There we go, $19.80. Okay, let me put some dollar signs on here too, just so we know what we're dealing with. Now, is $19.80 the new price of a pair of boots? Well, no, that's the markup amount. So in order to get the actual new amount, I need to add 44 plus 1980. I have to add the original amount plus the change amount. And let's see, 1980 is almost 20. So this is almost 64. It's going to be 20 cents shy of 64. $63.80 is my answer for letter C. All right, letter D. A real estate agency is selling a house at 22% off the original cost, not 22% of the original cost. That'd be a bargain. 22% off the original cost of $344,000. What is the discount and the new price of the house? Okay, the discount is just 344,000 times 22%. And I'm just going to put a dollar sign there so we know we're dealing with a dollar sign. Okay. Let's see. So 344,000 times 22%. That sounds like a job for a calculator. That's going to be $75,680. 75,680 discount. Okay. So the new cost is going to be 344,000 minus 75,680. Okay, so 75,680. It's going to be 344,000 minus 75,680 gives me 268,320. 268,320 is the new price of the house. Still sounds like a bargain compared to the original price. All right, letter E. A weightlifter can lift 90 pounds. After 6 months, he can lift 125 pounds. What is the percent of increase in the amount of weight he can lift? Well, this is just one of those original setups for this problem. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what the amount of increase is. 90 up to 125, that's a 35-pound increase. I'm going to divide that by the original amount, 90. 35 divided by 90, let's just punch that in. 35 over 90 gives me a 39% or a 38.9% increase. So I'm going to say 39% increase. We'll just round it to the nearest whole number. And then letter F. Binders that originally sold for $4.95 are now selling for $3.87 each. What is the percent decrease? Okay, so its original amount is $4.95. The change is $4.95 minus $3.87. 495 minus 387 is $1.08. So it's a $1.08 discount. Let's see, they're now selling for 387. How do I find the percent decrease? That's just going to be 108 divided by 495 divided by the original. So I'm going to take 1.08 divided by 495. That gives me a 22%, 21.8 or 22%. Again, we'll round to the nearest whole. 22% decrease. All right, so again, did you hear the language I was using this entire lesson? The original, what was the original amount? Okay, what was the change from that original amount? Now divide that change by the original amount, and that'll give you your percent increase or decrease. And then just remember, if you're ever doing a problem where you're using the percent change to find like the new cost after a markup or after a discount, you need to make sure that you find the percent and then add it back into the original number or subtract it from the original number to get the correct value at the end. All right, that's it. This problem's not that difficult. The only thing that's hard about this is keeping straight the original amount and the change. And then once you can keep those straight, that's what you should really practice. What is the original? What's the change? Do the division. You should be able to do problems 1 through 30 for next time.